All right, you know what? I think a lot of Australians out there, especially Renegades fans, they might be pissed at me making this episode, but I think it's needed. And you guys, of course, can leave your comments and your backlash down below, or maybe your response down below. What do you guys think about this kind of thing? I think it needs to be called out when esports organizations and their social media teams, well, they act very poorly in the time of a transaction between them and another organization. That being 100 Thieves, they've now officially entered CSGO. They have signed that Renegades full roster. I don't think I have ever seen a social media / esports org ever act more inappropriately, or more incorrectly, maybe I should say, around a transaction of this. If you guys do remember, it was actually last month, around 6 to 7 weeks ago. Decay, a great CSGO reporter, he first leaked the Renegades roster. Their contracts, they might be expired. This is the first time Renegades did fire back. They quote tweeted his article talking about the fact the Renegades CSGO roster, their contracts might be expired, thus they might be an option for any approaching CSGO orgs out there, 100 Thieves obviously being one of them. They quote tweeted his article and said, nope, they're not even, of course, stating yes, no, our guys are not close to expiring. We still got our boys. You're lying. You know, it's a pretty weird thing to, of course, have an esports organization, their social media, quote tweet a reporter out there who's making a statement, and you just straight up say, nope. If you're going to do that, you better back it up. And then right around the same time, within a few days, I do believe, Renegades, you know what they do? They double down on that nope statement, and they say, by the way, all of these have ever since been deleted as tweets. They do actually tweet out and say, we are so excited to announce our full CSGO roster for the upcoming season, pretty much saying, hey guys, we did re-sign them. So at first, everyone's thinking, yo, Decay, get backhanded, man. Renegades was telling the truth, and maybe you were lying as a reporter, just doing your job of what you had heard. They just called you out. They quote tweeted you, said nope. They also doubled down and tweet out and say, hey, we got our CSGO roster for the entire next upcoming season. Now, both those tweets have since been deleted by Renegades, so we're not sure if those contracts ever did expire, if they actually did re-sign those guys to, of course, have them be bought out and they get some money for when 100 Thieves does approach them. But it did seem like a bit of a lie if you're going to go back and then delete both of those tweets. And now we have, as of recently, within the past 24 to 48 hours, you know what happens, guys? Yeah, Decay was right. Renegades, they did sell their entire roster, supposedly. Whether or not there were buyouts, they were sold, or they actually were transacted all the way to 100 Thieves with the entire roster. Decay was right the entire time. Renegades and their social media team, they doubled down to try and call him out, and now they have looked a fool. And it goes on even further, because the day of the announcement, you know what Renegades does in a tweet that I saw as a bitter statement, because it's pretty obvious to know when you are transacting a player or a team to the team who is possibly paying you for that team or player, out of respect, out of responsibility, you don't spoil the announcement. You know what Renegades does? Well, yeah, they spoiled the announcement. In a later deleted tweet that was live for, I believe, 10 to 15 minutes, they thank their former team, they thank their former players, and say, good luck on 100 Thieves, thus spoiling a huge announcement for 100 Thieves who possibly just paid Renegades, we're not really sure on that as of right now, for that entire roster. Out of a sign of respect, it is commonly known, we rarely see a time where if you pay for a player or you play for a team, that selling team actually announces the departure of that player to you before you make the announcement yourself. It's a spoiler. It's something you pay for as a team, as a surprise for all of your fans. If you are paying for a team or a player, you would likely hate to see the team you are paying spoil your announcement like Renegades did. They eventually deleted that tweet, but that is 3 for 3 on mistakes and irresponsible management, I would say, of their social media team of this 100 Thieves organization, and just a massive disrespect. Even if it was mistake after mistake after mistake, how many times can you do this over and over to just look like you just look dumb? I don't mean to be mean about it, but you really do. You call out one of the best CSGO reporters and say he's a liar pretty much by saying nope to his article, which it was true. Then you say you re-signed the guys. You maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You've now deleted that tweet, and then you spoil the announcement of the team possibly paying you for your entire roster. It's like, what are you doing? It's a crazy situation. Now, despite all that, for all you Australian people out there who might somehow hate on me for making this video, I think it's well deserved. A lot of people out there are called out for their mistakes, and it just happens a lot in gaming that these mistakes are made. I will wish the Australians the best of luck. Renegades have now announced apparently a future CSGO roster will come to the organization. Best of luck to you, truly. I really do hope you guys can nail down another solidified roster. The roster you had was gorgeous, it was gracious, it was really good, and the best bossy roster we have ever seen. I hope you guys can do it again, but in the future, just come on. Some management, some communication, some coordination, and don't call out people, especially with the things that you cannot back up yourself. I think this is one of the most embarrassing transactions of a CSGO roster I've ever seen, and I hope it doesn't happen again. Until next time, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Bye.